such a nice day now, you know. It's a vibrant silence of heat in the air, you know, so nice. I want you to look at society. Any society. The society you live in, the way it's structured. Filled with humans, nah? And what are humans, you know? How is a human supposed to be? You can be in many different ways, but there is a science to it too, right? And all science, all medical science, in regards to telling what a human is and how it is, and including that of psychology, it's statistical, isn't it? So I mean, in a world full of demons where humans are completely out of their mind, it's a normality too, isn't it? So if a human being is raised in a society where it looks the way it does in that society, right? I mean, it has a certain, let's just talk abstract here. Let's say it has a certain form. And that form currently says that a human being, he should have a certain amount of breath because of statistics. And studies, of course. But I mean, if you study a world of stress, of what you get, you know. My name is Anders. I'm 47 in this body and been walking quite broad in life. In the sense of, I've done the things at the border of what you're supposed to do in the bubble, so to speak. I mean, I've been a seeker, you can say that. But you can also say that I was completely lost, looking. But what is the difference, really? I mean, isn't that what seeking is all about? Being somewhat lost? As a human living in this world, you have a lot of expectations on you, right? There's always a norm, right? Every society have a norm. And it's kind of built by the people, right? The way they perceive the world. And it has to fit with the true nature, right? Of who you are. There has to be some kind of balance. So kind of living life as a human being on this planet is being wrapped, you know, with a lot of expectations in the present, you know. Is it okay to be you? Is it? How do you judge that? Who judge that? So, if the social wrappings of expectations tells you that the normality of being a human is to naturally invoke negative thoughts and emotions in given situations in order to fit into the society. And when I say negative emotion, I mean it's the moments when you're not pleasant and joyful. It's when thoughts and emotions within you is hurting you in one way or another, and your mind is kind of letting you down, telling you that your options in life is limited, or that you're doing something out of bounds, or identifying with something that you by nature is not. I mean, we need to understand this, right? True nature is what you are already. Life is breathtaking and beautiful aesthetics by default. And an absolute possibility. So negative thoughts and emotions, in truth, is fiction of your mind's own small drama. I mean, true nature keeps track on what you are, assisting you every single moment, right? And any misalignment between you and that which you truly are is projected as stress, anxiety, fears, anger, and depression. I mean, this list can be made long. You know, truth is sensitive too, you know? As much as a small dislike can explode into big problems. I mean, I'm not saying you can have preferences, but Don't shape your life following a preference. It will not allow you to grow. In fact, it will be to ask nature for problems. So to conclude this, when a pattern of thoughts establishes ground within you to the point it becomes a living reality, whilst in reality you are diverting from that which really is. So if you're walking that kind of path in life, you are a diversion from how life wants to play, simply by following that which you perceive and refer to as truth, when it's not. And yes, that hurt. I mean, your breath knows what is your true nature or not. I mean, it's not that you make your heart beat, right? It's not that you make your fingers nail grow. Something else is handling this for you, isn't it? If you're ever scared, you know how it affects your breathing. And asking you to solve a problem at this point is many times asking for more problems. You see my point? So, negative thoughts and emotions are based on a person's own idea of the problem. No matter what happens, people react different, isn't it so? Same thing happening, but people act different, right? It is the inner workings of thoughts and emotions, isn't it? And how this is managed. And this is also what distinguishes heroes from cowards. So, negative thoughts and emotions is a misalignment. I mean, the times you are aligned, each breath is that of healing, you know? I mean, and you only have a fixed number of breaths per lifetime, you know? So it is wise not to waste your life on that which brings you stress. People just want to do what they want to do, okay? So don't put expectations and not live following other people's expectations. So, if social expectations implies you to stress and hurt yourself or take you on a sidetrack from what you truly are, what else can you do than get sick just to fit in? And if you are brought up in that bubble, you're bound to that loop of behavior, isn't it so? I mean, one way or another, sickness becomes a norm. I mean, to many people, they even come to accept it as an identity. So there are two ways to do changes here. I mean, one way to make changes is to simply sit down and figure out what changes are needed, that is required to meet a certain need, and then assess the situation and plan and develop, deploy and maintain, right? So development in whatever area is the current way to evolve things and into new versions and move stuff around in this world. And success in the end is that which lands as a solution for the many. I mean, this process is nothing wrong about it, yet it's not only what life is about. And its path is kind of very limited, especially if it's not backed up by something else. In fact, having it run alone in an unconscious state is what is happening now, right? In fact, it's currently a pulse that is slowly killing this planet, isn't it? So, I mean, humans have a history of building fantastic things this way, which has enabled a lot of the comfort available in the world. I mean, there's no one ever, I would say, that have had this level of comfort of living. Basically, almost wherever you are in the world. At the same time, we need to be aware that we have the necessary knowledge, skill and resources and tools available to end all which we consider misery globally. But still, it doesn't take much looking around, right, to see that nothing is happening in this direction. It's still the same game. So we need some kind of alignment, isn't it? I mean, isn't the alignment here what we are missing? Some kind of alignment that just makes it work. But what? Aligned to what or who? You know, humans in between all seem to think of things very different, isn't it? So, however fantastic human inventions might look or function, the output created in the development is still limited to the potential of those to create them, right? And currently, for something to be created and to become like of grandness, to live long and bring prosperity to people, not only does an opportunity need to show itself, the people involved have to be of grandness too. So, I mean, if you add all the things that the modern human have created, you know, from your mobile phone to the tallest of buildings, it is still a pale tickle of potential to what existence itself truly has to offer. You know, the blood of this world keeps pumping around in kind of an unconscious process. It's running on inherited platforms, implemented in territorial formats and in adequate sizes, right? Inadequate sizes, meaning it doesn't benefit all. In one form or another, its development initially was pushed by the urge of survival. And now it has turned into something that just roll down the hill, you know, without brakes. I mean, okay, what this is, right? This is also something called karma. That it is that of inheritance. It's a wheel spinning. However, we must understand this. A world infused with ideas, you know, religious beliefs and political callings and make-believes is what rules that of human behavior. Undeniably, it's a world trapped within the confinement of its own people's sum of perception. Yet, at the same time, the mechanisms involved is also what traps humans from evolving further. Unable to bypass the preset defined by nature itself. So, you can see the human footprints on this planet representing the totality of all make sense that humans themselves have concluded together. The result is what you have in front of you, right? It is what you are. The question is how far, deep and broad you can see, isn't it? Can you see yourself in it? So, our footprints is based today on a very limited sense perception. And our bubble state is the result to come out from billions of such limited senses over time. It is people together building and using possibilities that they perceive sensible in a given moment. It is the kind of lucid and global make sense. It is people moving forward on that which is the perceived freedom of choice, right? Because possibilities is what freedom is, isn't it? I mean, the other way to make changes is to work with the source of the problem. That's always where the solution can be found, isn't it? I mean, it is to raise the awareness of people and as such enable transformation. And you say raising awareness? I mean, what is awareness to begin with? But let me get to that. Just keep on listening, okay? Education is part of it. However, perception is about how to use the knowledge. It is of knowing. I talk about a transformation of people and their very ability to perceive the depth of what existence has to offer to the fullest. I mean, with full perception, you can talk to a flower, only to learn how many factors that are involved to make up a good harvest. And there's no school book required. It's a scope of clarity. I mean, not unheard of. However, 99.9% of people probably never have. I do understand that what I'm claiming to about ultimate perception and speaking to flowers, it's kind of unheard of, right? That guy must be completely crazy, right? At the same time, you went straight into the book and bought how gravity can be explained by a falling apple. You see, that is intelligence, right? But perception is the ability to access that intelligence. Because intelligence is pouring straight through you all the time. It's just that you are so preoccupied with a million other things. I mean, you have no idea how your mind is just connected. Geometrically, it's just a pattern of total dissolution. That's what perception are. Do you understand? The tools to do this very transformation, it exists today. It is alive. And it is a process, a living process that one can adhere to and align with. And this UPL video is one of them. What I talk about is not about transforming people into robots or puppets, you know, but to enable people an option, to enhance their perception, and as such enhance the possibilities available to them, which in turn will replicate. And doing this properly will be able to offer this as an opportunity to any life that is born into this world. I mean, it's about being able to grasp the possibilities provided in the moment. It is what freedom are. I mean, I can existentially, spiritually, intellectually, and logically explain to anyone how they can reach this second option. It's a transformation based on changing one human at a time. Yet for that, you need to listen to me for more than 20 minutes. A human needs to be free, isn't it? Everything in nature, you know, exactly everything is completely free. Except for the bounds that humans create. And if the wrapping of expectations on you and in the society tells that a human being has to be able to generate negative emotions, has to be able to be sad, has to feel suffering in any form, what choice do you have to fit in but get sick, nah? Right? One way or another, you need to start questioning. Not the reality you see around you. Question what is, you know? As in, not blame it, nah? As in, is that me? Is this me? It's all me, right? Everything is you. Have you ever lived anyone else's life? Have you ever been anything else but you? Let's face it, you're stuck where you are. And I tell you, this is heaven. Because when you come to realization about what this is, and what sound is, then you also understand when you need to be silent. Asatoma Sadgamaya